how's it going, guys? Chris and John here with some very special guests today. Everyone, this is Vina. He is a psychology and business expert. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I've done business since I was 20 years old. I'm now 28. I've been studying sales and psychology for the past 10 years.
Thank you, Vina. And also we have today a very special person to me personally, my lovely wife, Bridget, and she is actually an intuitive healer and a spiritual coach. Bridget, would you like to just say a few words to the audience?
Hi, my name is Bridget Wang. I'm an intuitive healer. I do intuitive healing and also mediumship. I've been doing this since the year of 2009.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Bridget. And today we are going to be talking about confidence and what is the difference between confidence and arrogance. And also, Chris, what is being humble? I'll edit it. And also, and then you go, what does being humble mean?
What does being humble mean?
Okay. Just for fun.
Alright. I like the energy.
Okay. So yeah.
So our first question is going to be, what is the difference between being confident and being arrogant? We all know being confident is really great. We need it in our relationships and career and work. But where's the line between confidence and arrogance? Vina, would you like to take a shot at that question?
Yeah. So, confidence and arrogance is a very fine line. People really don't know where to draw that line. And for me, just so we're all speaking the same language, let's look at Webster's dictionary. Confidence, right? Synonyms of confidence, self-assurance, self-confidence. You'll see that a lot of it comes from within. Confidence comes from within. They don't need external validation, right? It's intrinsic. Arrogance, however, you'll notice arrogant people, they overinflate. They're not grounded. They don't keep it in reality like a confident person. So the arrogant person, they're overconfident and they need that external validation. They need someone else to let them know and stroke their ego. You're really good, you're the best, things like that, They kind of expect, whereas a confident person will accept. That's my take on it.
Cool. Thank you for that, Vina. I definitely agree. And I think that all of us out there, we've been around or even been that arrogant or confident person. All right, thank you so much for that, Vina. And what are your thoughts about that, Bridget?
Okay. What I believe what confidence is that you just have this natural sense of assurance within yourself. What I see in confident people, they're very chill, very relaxed, and they don't have to be somebody else. They're very comfortable in their own skin. However, people who are arrogant, what I feel from them is almost like they're constantly looking for reassurance from outside of themselves. That's why they have to put on this facade where, like, you know what, I'm good enough. You're not supposed to tell me what I'm supposed to do or who I am, who I am not. When you need to do that, that means you're not telling it, or when you need to do that, that means you don't have that reassurance within yourself. That's why you need to look outside of yourself for that. Right?
Cool.
Great.
Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you so much, Bridget. So it sounds like being confident really means it comes from within, and being arrogant is kind of these external kind of things that are going on outside of you. Now let's go on to our second question. From a really traditional standpoint, everyone says it's good to be humble, it's good to be modest. Not just Asian culture, but American culture as well. What is the difference between being confident and being humble? Is it possible to be confident and humble? Vina, what do you think?
Upon doing research about it, the average person would say that a person is being humble when someone praises them and they're like, that's not, I'm really not that good. Don't put me in the spotlight. That is what it means to be humble. I don't necessarily agree with that, only because I feel a person they should be confident, and if you love yourself, then you accept that. Again, confidence is accepting. So you thank them and be gracious and not overinflate your ego and think that you're the greatest, because you're not. There's always going to be someone better, and you know that because you're grounded and you're keeping it real. But you also know that you're good at what you do. You're competent. You don't discredit the hours that you put in researching and gaining the knowledge that you did, gaining the wisdom, gaining the experience. You don't discount those things. You know that you had to put in the work, and so now you're accepting the praise that now comes with it, and you thank graciously.
Wow, very well said, Vina. Thank you for that. And Bridget, do you have anything to add? What is your perspective on this?
I totally agree with Vina. He's awesome. By the way, yeah. And what I believe, especially from Asian culture, ever since we're little, we're either taught to be humble or, no, cancel clear that. Ever since we're little, we're taught, especially Asian culture, we're taught to be humble. If we're not humble, then we're being arrogant. But we were never taught what confidence really is. But I feel like what's wrong with, just being awesome? We are awesome, right? We need to celebrate who we are rather than, constantly beating ourselves up, because when we're taught being humble, we're telling ourselves, no, we shouldn't shine. No, we shouldn't be who we are. No, we shouldn't let other people know who we really are. But being confident is being comfortable of who you are. Being humble is being grateful for who you are and also the people around you. Because being humble is remembering that you didn't become who you are today without your family, without your loved ones, and without your friends. And remembering where you came from, remembering these people will help you be a humble person. At the same time, being confident of who you are. Because in truth, you are awesome. And we need to celebrate that.
Cool. It just, that reminds me of a quote that I often reiterate to myself and I tell others, is that if I seem tall, it is because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Sir Isaac Newton said that.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Bridget and Vina. Seems like we need to be really self-assured and when we accept praise, we accept it graciously. That's a really good example of being confident and humble. Now, do you guys have any practical tips for the audience on how one person becomes more confident?
I believe a confident person is not only emotionally healthy, but physically healthy. Sometimes it's hard when you're in a bad state to make wise decisions as a confident person would, because what matters is making a decision half the time. All the time. What matters is making a decision all the time. Whether it's wrong or right, you make the decision and then you learn from it and not be afraid to fail. That comes with confidence, but not everyone is there. So I say start with your physical self. A humble person, if you see them walking down the street, they're taking small steps, the shoulders are forward, their chin is down, their voices tend to be low. What did you say? What was your humble line?
Oh, okay. It was, I'm sorry if I'm not humble, people don't listen to you when you mumble.
Yeah, and I think that's a great line because it's true. In my experience, that is true of humble people. They're low in their speech and you can't hear them. And honestly, they don't stand out, and it's really hard to make them stand out in your mind. A confident person is very grounded. They walk with, their weight equally distributed, shoulders back, they're taking deep breaths, their chin's level with the ground, and that's the way they show it physically, and then that changes your state. And when you change your state in a physiological sense, it will have an effect on you emotionally. And emotion is just energy of motion, and you're putting that together. The arrogant person, how do they do it, They're usually, that's what they say, their nose in the air, they're kind of snobby, right? Their chin is up, it's not parallel to the ground, and they're overstepping, their weight is not evenly distributed. If they were to misstep, they would slip and fall and be an ass like most arrogant people are.
I would suggest to have fun with yourself. We're taught to not make mistakes, or it's a wrong thing to make mistakes. But you know what? Just have fun with your mistakes, because only when you start to make mistakes, that's when you're trying. You're taking the first steps. And also, I would also suggest to stop apologizing for who you are, but start to celebrate who you are. A lot of time we may call somebody and say, well, I used to do that. Sometimes I still do this right now. I would call somebody and say, hey, sorry to bother you. Do you have a minute? Why do I say sorry? Because I apologize for being who I am, right? And another thing I would suggest to do is write things about what you like about yourself. Because every day we look into the mirror and say, oh my God, I have a pimple here, I have wrinkles here, and I like the fat on my stomach and all that. And we rarely take the time to look at the things we like about ourselves. So when you actually take the time to write the things you do like about yourself, you're going to start think of yourself in a different perspective and go, you know what, I'm actually not that bad. And your confidence is going to start building from there.
Beautiful. Wow. Awesome, Bridget. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching. It looks like we're running out of time here. Make sure to catch us next week on Project Life Coach. Please subscribe to our video and leave a comment down below. All right, and actually I challenge you guys to, like Bridget said, go ahead and write down a couple qualities that you are confident, that you like about yourself. If you're willing to share that with us, we'd love to hear from you. Or here's another tip I suggest for you guys is write 1 to 3 things, 3 of your successes just in this year from, January of 2014. What are 3 successes that you've had this year? Because that's recognizing those, give yourself credit for that, applaud yourself for that, and recognize the confidence within you. All right, so we'll see you next week. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you then.